And this talks about the creation story and also the idea of the relocation or the displacement, if you would, of the Emberá people. And this is an entry called Carving the River from the Tree. And this says, one day the god Garabi decided that he wanted to find water so that he and his family could wash and drink. The water was hidden in a rock by a woman named Gonga, and she refused to give Garabi the water. He tricked her and learned to make the key she used to extract the water from the rock. He then turned her into an ant. However, before being transformed, Gonga had swallowed the entire river, and so the water was no more. Yet, Garabi did not give up. He recruited his family, the monkey, the squirrel, the otter, and the fox, and they all worked together to get water out of the ancient tree Henene. Before felling the tree, or before cutting it down, they all climbed on a raft so as they would not drown when the water flooded the forest. And after 15 days on the raft, they finally arrived on dry land. Ever since, the rivers, the forest, and the animals have been living in harmony. Garabi is the god of the Emberá Chami people, a riverine hunter-gatherer group who reside in Panama and Colombia. Traditionally, many indigenous groups do not believe that land can be owned, and so they are taken aback when they find their home invaded by outsiders with machines used to cut down the forest. So I don't want to glaze over that story. So essentially, again, there was a quest for water, and there was water in this tree, and so the tree was felled. Or whenever I hear the word felled, I think it was cut down, it was taken down, right? And when it fell, the vines that hit the ground, that's what became the water, and it flooded the earth. And so they had to spend, of course, it says here, the 15 days on the raft until there was finally dry land available. So just wanted to make sure that we all got the creation story for the water. This continues about the land and how the Emberá people view land. It says, and so, despite the great efforts of their god to ensure access to the rivers and the forest, they must once again fight to find a home alongside the monkey, the squirrel, the otter, and the fox. Quote, it is a game of musical chairs, says Drea Burbank, co-founder of the B Corps Savimbo, which seeks to help the Emberá Chami. They keep getting displaced due to economic colonialism. Companies keep purchasing their land, and they are unaware until one morning someone appears and begins chopping trees. Currently, some members of the Emberá Chami, a very traditional deep jungle group, have been resorted to living in barracks in prison-like conditions. So I think this is really important to talk about because this is emphasizing, this was published, this says June 10th. It doesn't give me a year, but this is a modern site, right? And it's talking about things that are happening recently. It's talking about machinery used to cut down trees. So this is modern day, and this is colonialism. Colonialism is still very real, and it's happening all over the world. And this is just one example of it. I just want to make sure we all understand that that is what this is, or this is what that is. I don't know, whichever way, square, rectangle. This says, 3 generations are now involved in the process of finding a new location in the jungle to call home. And Abuelo, the elder shaman, is determined to succeed soon. He wants to die in the woods, teaching his children about their traditional ways, like his ancestors before him. This continues, Abuelo found an area of pristine deep forest at Badaquera within the Putumayo Amazon, which could be a wonderful location for the group to live and to continue pursuing its traditional ways of life. But for that to happen, they need money. Quote, they do not like charities. It creates dependency, Burbank explains. In their eyes, the land was stolen from them, and they do not want to accept it back as a gift. They want it to be their legal home and respect it as such.